Teyana Taylor. The name alone conjures a kaleidoscope of images: the electric energy of her fade performance, the unapologetic swagger of a Harlem native, the quiet strength of a woman rebuilding after a very public storm. But behind the headlines and the Instagram posts lies a story far more complex, a narrative of resilience forged in the fires of expectation, betrayal, and the relentless pursuit of artistic freedom. It's a story that begins not on a stage, but on the unforgiving streets of Harlem. December 10th, 1990, Harlem, New York. Not just an address, but a crucible. A place where dreams are both nurtured and tested, where style is a shield and survival a daily performance. This is where Teyana Taylor's story takes root. Born to Nikki Taylor and Tito Smith, she didn't just inherit Harlem, she embodied it. The rhythm of the city pulsed through her veins from the start. Forget lullabies, Teyana's soundtrack was the beat of the block, the soulful echoes of a community that demanded you stand tall, speak loud, and never ever back down. Even as a child, the signs were undeniable. This wasn't some kid playing dress up, this was a force of nature gathering momentum. Every move was a dance, every word a performance. It wasn't a question of if she'd explode onto the scene, but when. And the industry, always hungry for the next big thing, started to take notice early. Fast forward to 2005. Teyana is 15 years old. While her peers are stressing over pop quizzes and awkward first dates, she's signing a record deal with Star Trek Entertainment under the wing of Pharrell Williams himself. Pharrell, a visionary, a hitmaker, a man who seemed to have the Midas touch. It felt like destiny. The streets of Harlem whispered promises of superstardom. This was it. The following year, MTV came calling. My Super Sweet 16, the ultimate symbol of teenage excess, a platform for spoiled brats to flaunt their privilege. But Teyana's episode was different. It wasn't just about the Range Rover, a $100,000 0-cent statement piece. It was a declaration, a Harlem princess staking her claim. She wasn't just throwing a party, she was announcing her arrival to the world, dripping in confidence and Harlem royalty. Then came the Beyoncé moment. 2007, Ring the Alarm, that iconic video, the one that still sets the internet ablaze. Teyana, barely out of her teens, choreographed the dance routine. Let that sink in. Beyoncé, the queen, trusting a teenager to create the movement for one of her most visually arresting videos. That's not luck, that's undeniable talent, a spark that couldn't be ignored. It was a seismic shift, a moment that should have catapulted her to the stratosphere. But the industry, as it often does, had other plans. The machine started to grind, slowly, agonizingly. Her debut album, the one everyone was waiting for, got delayed. And then delayed again. The promises faded, replaced by the deafening silence of bureaucratic red tape. Teyana was stuck in a holding pattern, a victim of the very system she was poised to conquer. Most artists would have crumbled. Most artists would have faded into obscurity, another cautionary tale of unfulfilled potential. But Teyana Taylor isn't most artists. She's a Harlem survivor. She pivoted, she hustled, she stayed visible. MTV spin-offs, modeling gigs, choreography work, she refused to be forgotten. She kept her name buzzing, her brand strong, her talent undeniable. Then in 2009, another lifeline. Kanye West. Good music. Another titan of the industry, another promise of stardom. It felt like redemption, a second chance, a new beginning. But the album, the elusive debut, remained just out of reach. The years ticked by. 2010, 2011, 2012. Still nothing. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. Was she difficult? Was the hype a mirage? Was she simply not good enough? The industry loves a good takedown, especially when a woman dares to demand her due. But anyone who truly saw Teyana, who understood the raw power simmering beneath the surface, knew the problem wasn't her. The problem was an industry that couldn't categorize her, couldn't contain her, couldn't profit off her in the ways they were accustomed to. She was too much, too talented, too versatile, too unwilling to compromise. Then came 2014, the year every everything changed with a single music video, Kanye West's Fade. A track that, on its own, was good, but paired with Teyana's performance, it became iconic. A cultural reset. If you haven't seen it, you're living under a rock. Go watch it now. Teyana, alone in a gym, bathed in sweat, muscles glistening, delivering a performance that was equal parts primal and polished. It was sensual, athletic, mesmerizing. It was a masterclass in body language, a story told without a single word. The internet exploded. Before going viral was a tired cliche, Teyana Taylor broke the internet. Suddenly, the industry remembered. Oh right, Teyana Taylor. She exists. And she's extraordinary. The performance earned her a nomination for Best Choreography at the MTV Video Music Awards. It was a validation, a long overdue acknowledgement of her talent, but more than that, it was a reintroduction, a phoenix rising from the ashes of industry neglect. Her body became an instrument, each movement a carefully calibrated expression of strength, vulnerability, and unwavering self-possession. Every flex, every pose, every drop of sweat told a story of struggle, resilience, and triumph. It was unforgettable. The video racked up millions of views, each one a testament to Teyana's undeniable magnetism. Finally, in June 2014, 7 years after signing with Pharrell, 7 years of false starts and frustrating delays, her debut album, 7 years in the making. Was it worth the wait? Absolutely. The album debuted at #1 on the Billboard Top R&B and Hip Hop Albums chart. Critics raved about its old-school R&B vibe, its raw vulnerability, its refusal to chase fleeting trends. This was Teyana's vision, unfiltered and unapologetic, a statement piece, years in the making. But Teyana's story isn't just about music, it's about family. On September 1st, 2013, she gave birth to her first daughter, Junie, with NBA player Iman Shumpert. The birth itself was legendary, not in a sterile hospital room, but in their bathroom, with Iman delivering the baby himself. The story went viral, solidifying their status as one of the most talked about couples in entertainment and sports. They were young, beautiful, talented, and seemingly deeply in love. They seemed like the perfect match, her fierce independence balanced by his steady support. In 2016, they got married in a private ceremony. No orchestrated magazine spreads, no staged social media announcements until after the fact. Just them, their love, and their commitment. In 2020, they welcomed their second daughter, Rue Rose. The family seemed unshakable, constantly posting loving moments, dance videos, and wholesome content that made everyone believe in fairy tales again. But behind the picture-perfect facade, cracks were beginning to form. But hold up, rewind to 2018, because that's when Teyana released KTSE, Keep That Same Energy, executive produced by Kanye West. The album was part of Kanye's Wyoming sessions, that chaotic, creative explosion where he churned out 5 albums in 5 weeks. Teyana's was the last to drop, and let's be real, it felt rushed. Incomplete, like a masterpiece sketched on a napkin. She even called Kanye out publicly, saying she didn't approve the final version, that songs were missing, that her vision had been compromised, a bold move. Publicly criticizing Kanye West? That's like yelling at a hurricane. But Teyana has never been one to bite her tongue. She demanded respect for her art, even if it meant burning bridges. The incident exposed the industry's dirty little secret. Even when you're talented, even when you're signed to the biggest names, your vision can still be stolen, diluted, compromised. It was a frustrating reminder that even at this level, a Black woman's voice can be easily silenced. Then came the album in 2020, simply titled The Album, and this time, this was all Teyana. No interference, no compromises. A sprawling, ambitious project featuring collaborations with everyone from Lauryn Hill to Erykah Badu. Each track felt intentional, crafted with the care of someone who'd fought too hard to let anyone mess it up. It was a triumph, debuting at number 8 on the Billboard 200. But even as she was winning musically, things were shifting personally. Behind the Instagram posts and the couple goals content, cracks were forming. The marriage that looked picture perfect was quietly unraveling. What the world didn't see was the tension building over finances, parenting styles, and the relentless pressure of maintaining 2 high-profile careers while raising 2 young daughters. In January 2023, Iman Shumpert filed for divorce in Georgia, listing their date of separation as Angeles, November 2022. The news devastated fans who'd followed their love story from the bathroom birth to the family dance videos. It felt like another fairy tale shattered, another reminder that fame and fortune don't guarantee happiness. But this was just the beginning of a very public, very messy split that would dominate headlines for months. Teyana fired back with her own filing in Los Angeles, and what followed was a custody battle that exposed the ugly reality behind the Instagram perfect facade. Court documents revealed shocking allegations. Teyana claimed Iman had been financially irresponsible, leaving her to shoulder most of the financial burden for their daughters, despite his NBA earnings. She alleged he was often absent, prioritizing his career and personal pursuits over parenting responsibilities. But the drama escalated further. Teyana accused Iman of being jealous of her success and deliberately sabotaging her career opportunities. She claimed he would schedule his commitments during times when she had major work obligations, forcing her to choose between motherhood and her career, a choice he never had to make. Then came the allegations that truly shocked the public, accusations of narcissistic behavior and manipulation. The back and forth played out in tabloids and on social media, with fans taking sides. The couple who'd once represented relationship goals had become a cautionary tale about the pressures of fame and the challenges of maintaining a marriage under constant public scrutiny. But here's where Teyana's story takes a beautiful turn. In early 2025, whispers began circulating about a new romance. Teyana had been spotted with British actor Aaron Pierre, known for his roles in the Underground Railroad, and Old. At first, they kept things private, learning from past mistakes about living too publicly. By June 2025, the relationship was confirmed. Unlike her previous relationship, this one seemed different. Quieter, more mature, built on mutual respect rather than social media performance. Aaron, a serious dramatic actor with his own flourishing career, wasn't interested in being half of a celebrity couple brand. He wanted partnership, not performance. Friends close to Teyana said she seemed lighter, freer, more herself than she'd been in years. Aaron was supportive of her career without being threatened by it. He got along well with Junie and Rue, understanding that any relationship with Teyana meant embracing her daughters. It represented a new chapter, one where Teyana didn't have to shrink herself to make a man comfortable. But let's not forget, even before the divorce was finalized, Teyana had already made another shocking decision. In December 2020, she announced her retirement from music. Yes, retirement. At just 30 years old. At the peak of her powers, she walked away. She cited feeling underappreciated by her label, lack of proper promotion, and exhaustion from fighting for respect she'd earned 10 times over. "I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody except to myself. I've been at this since I was 15 years old," she said. The industry had taken too much, her time, her energy, her peace, so she left.